So you can get your gear stolen at any point during your travels, but there are few situations when these things happen more often than others. And the first place of danger is your accommodation. And there are a lot of choices to be made here. Avoid popular party backpacker hubs. This is often where all the fishy things happen, and I don't mean only theft. I don't want to label specific places, but these kind of locations are attracting a certain kind of crowd, which often comes with all kinds of characters, and some of them aren't very honest. Don't stay in dormitories. There is almost always a private room available at similar prices. It's just harder to remain private in a dormitory. The biggest benefit of having your own room is that no one of the other hotel guests will know that you're traveling with camera gear. It might sound weird to you, but theft very often happens from other travelers rather than staff or local people. Don't stay in large hotels. Large hotels have a lot of staff, even though some have security teams and procedures to prevent theft. Unfortunately, it still happens there. The problem is that due to the large number of staff and guests, it's very easy to steal something and very hard to find the accountable ones. There are just too many people. The best choice in terms of safety are small hotels with up to 20 rooms. These are my favorite ones. The fewer the rooms, the better it is. And if it is a family homestay, you've hit the jackpot. You see, most small hotels are family-owned or just small businesses. For some, it's their livelihood. For others, it's some sort of a dream that came true. So they're very, very careful about their reputations and about how they treat guests. They'll have a small staff, and the experience of staying in such a hotel is very personal. It's in their highest interest to have you as a happy customer. They know all their guests and employees by face, and any stranger is immediately noticed. So the chances of something getting stolen there are very, very low. You shall find many of these on booking sites, but please check the rating. Anything higher than 8+ would be a potential candidate, but avoid the ones with 2,000+ reviews. My sweet spot are the ones that are between 100 to 300 reviews. Now we found our hotel we can trust. But there are a few hotel safety rules that I follow, and these are made to reduce the possibility of theft even lower. So the first one is just don't be an ass to the staff. Remember, these are small places. If you misbehave at the reception or are rude to someone working there, it will become known to the whole staff very quickly. You don't want your cleaning lady to think anything bad of you. You shall always try to get things done the nice way. Even if the mistakes is on their side, be understanding. You always want the hotel staff to like you and be on your side. Always keep your room tidy. Yes, there is a room service every day, but that doesn't mean you should throw stuff on the floor and have everything scattered around the room. It's just disrespectful for the person who is cleaning there. Keep everything as neat and tidy as possible. The cleaning staff can tell what kind of person stays in the room just by looking at how they live there. Someone who doesn't respect their job won't be respected back. And remember, we wanted the hotel staff to be on our side. So remember to smile to the staff when you see them. It's also good to give tips here and there, but that's really depends on your budget and how do you feel about tipping. When you're out of your room, keep all your gear locked. The way I do it, it's by locking my camera backpack or trolley inside of a larger bag or suitcase. It's even better if you can lock it with a non-TSA lock. TSA locks usually have kind of a master key that if someone has this key, he has basically access to the luggage or to the lock, whatever there is there. You will probably ask, why don't you put it in the safe or leave it at the reception? Well, there are two reasons for that. First is that room safes are often not really attached to anything, and you can just take it out of the room. Alternatively, there might be a master key that can open safes in the hotel. I don't like that. The second reason is that the moment I go down to the reception and hand them that bag with a lot of gear, that person knows that I have a valuable bag. Locking my gear in a bigger suitcase is safer simply because the size of the bigger suitcases make it harder to steal. It's much easier to put a backpack and get out of the hotel than getting a big suitcase out unnoticed. But also, if no one in the hotel knows that I have a big bag with $10,000 worth of equipment, no one will be tempted to steal it. That brings me to the next rule. I see a lot of people leaving their hotels with their camera around their necks, sometimes even two. That shows hotel employees, other guests, or anyone living, running a business, or just hanging out around the hotel that you have an experienced gear that maybe it's good for stealing. So keep your gear on the back and only take it out of the place when you're going to shoot. One of the key takeaways of all these rules is that it is easier to keep your valuables safe when no one tags you as a potential target. So the majority of the effort should be not attracting attention rather than securing. Okay, so we are outside now. Let's talk about how to keep your gear safe on the street. The second place where your gear is in danger is when you're shooting outdoors. My first tip has nothing to do with gear, but a lot to do with psychology and how you are perceived on the street. So my first tip is that you should dress appropriately for the place. You shouldn't stand out from the crowd in any way. If you do, you just look like a first choice for an assault. My general recommendation is don't wear any luxury items. Gold chains, diamond rings, Rolexes, smartwatches, branded clothes, or expensive sunglasses. It all should stay at home. Of course, it really depends on your travel destination. If you're going to Italy to photograph Milan Fashion Week, it's a one thing. But if you're going to a market in India, you will stand out like a bright Christmas tree there. So be humble and think properly about what you're wearing and what you're bringing with you on the street. I usually take my oldest clothes, t-shirts that have lost their color or an old bag, things like that. Something that will not scream money. The second rule that I have is don't walk around with a camera bag. You'll be thinking, oh, wait, isn't a camera bag made for that? Well, maybe it is, but camera bag, especially when known brands like Peak Design or Lower Pro, are easier to recognize and tag as potentially containing some valuables. So while you can use your big camera bag for traveling between places, when you're out shooting, I recommend using a regular small backpack with an insert in it. Let me show you what I mean. This is a small bag that I use. It's very tiny. I can pack it almost in any bag. And this is an insert. In that insert, I can put my gear inside and it will be safe. By using something like this, I eliminate the problem of being tagged. I'm just a normal tourist that is just walking around the street. The insert will keep your gear safe, but from the outside, it will just look like a normal bag. There is another aspect to it. After 4 or 5 hours being outside with a full camera bag, you'll get really tired, and that can affect your judgment, which leads me to our next rule. Don't leave your camera bag on the floor when you're engaged in shooting something. Always keep it on your back. I often see this, a photographer changes the lens and then leaves the bag on the floor and just goes around shooting. Occasionally being taken over by the shooting process, they might even move slightly away without noticing. That's a very good way to get your stuff stolen. It's enough to look away for 15 seconds and it's gone. Also, when you stop for a coffee or food, having your camera on the table is not a great idea. Someone can easily snatch it and run away with it. Similarly with your camera bag, always have it in the least accessible place from the street. You can even wrap the shoulder strap around the chair or your leg for extra safety. If you're shooting in a third world countries, replace your brand name straps with something generic and perhaps tape over the logos, especially if it's the red dot ones. Leave the tape in place even if it gets dusty and dirty. The worse your camera looks like, the less attractive it is to the thieves. You can remove the tape and clean it back and make it nice and shiny back home. But when you're over there traveling, just let it look the way it looks. Now, street safety really depends on the place. In some countries, certain streets or neighborhood can be very dangerous. So you should do your homework and read about this before. But most importantly, even if you are in a relatively safe country and you're in isolated alley and you feel that something is off, get out of there. Get out of there as soon as possible and find a busy street to walk around. Listen to your instincts. They're often right. Another area where you can get targeted is while you are traveling or moving from place to place. For example, last year there was a crew working on all the budget flights in Asia, specializing in stealing valuables from overhead compartments. It's less likely to happen on an international $500 plus flight, but very much possible on the cheaper flights. And there are a few ways to protect yourself here. The first one is to put your hand luggage on the opposite side rather than directly above you. If your luggage is right on top of you, you can't really see properly when someone is accessing the overhead compartment. So always use the opposite side because you always can see what happens there. And again, don't use camera backpacks as your Mary Canyon. The reasoning is the same as before. Thieves know that a camera backpack can contain $10,000 worth of equipment. And they're very tempting to steal the whole bag or just something out of it. Just use a normal trolley with inserts or an older backpack. And of course, these need to be locked during the flight. You want to make access to your valuables as difficult as possible. Don't sleep during flights, especially not using sleeping pills. These knocking you out completely and you can lose all of your belongings and you will not even notice. So we're clear with flights now. How about other public transportations? The rules with public transportations are very simple. Never lose sight of your bag with your gear. If it's a train, put your main luggage under the seat, but your camera bag stays with you. Use it as a pillow if you wish, just never take your eyes off it. Similarly with buses, never put your camera bag in the main compartment under the bus. Always keep it with you on the bus, on your knees. And if you're using a car for traveling, it's okay to put it in the luggage compartment, but if you stop at a gas station or for lunch, it's better to take the bag with you rather than leave it in the parked car. Thieves from cars happen mostly in such parking places. Now let's mention some essential gear safety accessories. There are mainly 3 accessories that I recommend. First one is a whistle. There is nothing better to scare a thief than something that makes a lot of noise. Remember the alleys I spoke about earlier. If you see something tailing you, just start whistling very, very strong, make a lot of noise, and he will think twice before approaching you. So find yourself a strong whistle, attach it to your camera bag, and use it when necessary. The second one is a bag secure cord. These are thin cords with metal wiring in the middle that backpackers usually use to secure their bags in public transport. I recommend having 2 of these, one for the main luggage, the other one for your camera bag. Sometimes when I'm very, very tired and I want to have a short sleep, I will attach my camera bag handle to my belt. And if someone tries to take this, it will naturally wake me up. And the last one is AirTags. I personally haven't used them yet, but I do plan to buy some for my next trip. Just get few and hide them among your gear. But remember, these are to track already stolen gear, which isn't always a great idea, especially in some dodgy places. What will protect you and your gear the best are not theft accessory, it's your mindset and attitude. The general mindset approach is to try and avoid selecting yourself as a target, rather than just trying to secure the gear as strong as possible. To do that, follow these principles. Don't flash the fact that you are traveling with a lot of gear. Don't talk too much. The fish gets caught because it opens its mouth. Avoid sharing details like where you're staying, when are you flying, or your exact itinerary, because someone can target you a few hours before your flight and you will remain with a difficult choice to go home and lose your gear or potentially lose a lot of money and stay trying to chase it. Do not share your travel plans with random people. Trust me on that one. Dress humbly. Your Rolex, your Apple Watch can stay at home. Your camera bag too. Use simple luggage, a simple backpack and inserts. Don't be naive. Don't be too trusting, be on guard, don't trust security cameras, and don't blindly trust that the police will catch thieves. But with all that, be a nice person. You're less likely to get bad karma on you if you make people like you. And the last one is to always try to have backups of your photographs. Today you can use a small SSD drive so you can keep on yourself during all times. Losing your gear is half of the problem. Losing all your work that you did makes the problem even bigger. So at least try to avoid that. So now it's time to hear from your experience. What are your top gear safety tips when traveling? Let me know down in the comments and see you next time.